All right, what's your name, family, where were you born, and where have you lived?
Okay. I'm Gregory Stickney.
Yeah.
I was born in a little town in southern Indiana called Mitchell.
Mitchell.
It had about 4,000 residents, so it was small. Uh, I have two brothers and two sisters. And out of that, I was the fourth one born.
So you're the last child?
No,
You're the
my
first
older
one?
brother and two older sisters,
Oh,
and then me, and then my younger brother.
okay.
We lived out in the country, so being in town kind of makes it kind of confining.
Yeah.
After when I left Mitchell, I had joined the Navy. Lived in Charleston, South Carolina. Then went to Orlando, Florida. Then went to Bahrain, where I stayed for a year. Then Honolulu, Hawaii. San Francisco, California. San Diego. Then to Norfolk, Virginia, or Virginia Beach. Then left there and went back to Mitchell, Indiana for a short time. And actually just out here for a short time.
Yeah.
Then we went to Irwin, North Carolina,
Yeah.
and then back here.
Yeah. You've been all over the place.
Yeah.
And so, in high school, were you in like any clubs, organizations, or sports?
I played basketball and football and ran track. I threw the discus for the track.
That's cool. And then, was there, like, what's your religion? Was there any, like, religion organizations in your high school or anything?
I wasn't really into any of the clubs at high school.
Yeah.
Especially during my junior and senior years,
Yeah.
I split the time going from the normal high school to a vocational school in which I studied computer programming.
Well, that's cool. That's really cool. And then, when you were still in high school and like a kid, what were the expectations that your parents had? Were they really strict, or were they not so strict?
They were pretty strict. Expectations really was just to finish high school.
Yeah. That's cool. And then, did you go to college, or did you just go straight into the Navy?
I went straight into the Navy after high school. As a matter of fact, we graduated late May from high school, and June the 13th, I went to boot camp. I had actually joined the Navy in the delayed entry program while I was still in high school.
Okay. And then, was the Navy basically the only job you've really had?
Well, I spent 22 years in the Navy, and then
22 years?
yeah,
That's a lot.
it was a little over 22. So we went after the Navy. I worked for Taylor's Do-It Center, a hardware store, while I was going to college.
Okay.
And then when I finished that, I worked briefly as a medical assistant in the park court, a chiropractic assistant.
Cool.
And then went to Canon Information Technology Services, in which I was a technician for the multipass division, and then when we left Virginia Beach, I worked for French Lake Resort and Casino as a slot technician.
Yeah. And then so, tell us a little about your marriage and your kids. My mom.
We got married January the 7th, 1978. So it's been it'll soon be 35 years, or no, 37 years.
Dang.
And then 2 daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Your aunt and your mom.
Yeah.
And that was all the only kids that we had.
Were they troublemakers?
Normal kid stuff.
Yeah. And then, what are your thoughts on our government today and war?
Don't really like war.
Who
I know
does?
22 years
Who does?
in the military, but I still don't like war. I believe that we need a strong military.
Get out of the way.
That strong military, I believe, will help us prevent wars. The weak military just makes us rather weak. And
Yeah.
gets people to pick on us. So I'm more of a Republican than what I am a Democrat, but I am open to both sides of I've voted for both Democrats and Republicans.
Yeah.
So I like to consider myself a pretty independent thinker, and like to study the issues before I make a vote.
Oh yeah. That's good. And then, what are your feelings on America lately? Like, the good, bad, neutral, with especially the things that's happened, like with all the police killings of like the innocent people, for example, Ferguson.
Well, I think there's always 2 sides to the story.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, our news affiliations really only report one side of the story.
Yeah.
They get people riled up, and that way they can sensationalize different events, and I think people need to really take a step back and look what happened, what actually happened, instead of relying on the news media.
Yeah.
My thoughts on the country and the way it's going. I think we are now, we worked for so long to be to include everybody, and it seems to me like today people are being more racist, and
Oh yeah.
we need to get back to what we were doing, to where people worked with each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, at least the gas prices have gone down. Yeah,
Well, and you got to remember too, I can remember times in which gasoline, you could go by, there was what we called gas wars.
Uh-huh.
Service stations would actually be lowering the price to get more people into their station. And I've seen gases, below 25 cents a gallon. So 19 cents a gallon, and at times.
That's so nice. It's like, and then the last one we have is like, how do you want to be remembered?
I really haven't given that much thought, but hopefully people will remember me as someone that they can turn to, and,
Yeah.
as a kind, compassionate person. So,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone in this house could say that. Thank you.
you're welcome.